Good afternoon, Josh. Worrell here.
Good to see you, Worrell.
Good seeing you. So these playoffs, they get an old hat for you?
They get what?
Old hat?
No. Every year is a different year. It's a new situation. That's our standard that we try to hold up to here is playoff caliber. And around the building, we've already got things changed to now championship caliber. So, we're excited.
And I was kind of half kidding there, but what's it mean? I mean, when you arrived here in 2018, you were aware of the Bills' history and wanted to help build this team into what can become a sustainable contender. What's it mean 3 years later that you guys have started to show, go down that road as being a team that needs to be contended with each playoff?
It speaks a lot about the guys in this locker room, about the front office and our coaching staff being as consistent as possible. 3 years in a row, it's not an easy feat. Winning is not easy in this league, and you need to celebrate it when you can. But at the same time, we're not just hoping to get into the playoffs. That's not our goal. Our main goal is at the start of the season is to give ourselves a chance to win the Super Bowl. And yes, to get to the Super Bowl, you got to make the playoffs. So we have accomplished that goal, but we have loftier ones ahead of us.
And lastly, given the ups and downs that this team faced throughout this season, do you think that the expectation and knowing what it takes to get to the playoffs, that experience, that mindset helped you get to this point to smooth out, to get to the point where, where you needed to win these 4 games?
Yeah, I think there was just no panic in our locker room. And again, we have a sense of calmness, but a lot of urgency within this unit, and again, we're excited to look forward to that, but we got one more game left and a chance to go win the division at home, which hasn't been done, I think, in almost 30 years or something like that. So that's the only thing on our mind right now is this next week, Sunday, 4 o'clock versus the Jets.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Okay, Josh, it's Mark Gaughan here. This is related to the grind of the season that you have. So I presume, like most quarterbacks, Daboll sends you your first look at the game plan on Tuesday evening on a typical week. Is that basically right?
Yeah, sometimes even Mondays, they're grinding.
Okay, so, the games are so emotional. You beat the Patriots. Everybody knows how big it is. And now you've got to get ready and do a lot of studying for the Falcons, who I can't believe you watched many Falcons games before last week. So do you have to have some downtime, unwind? I would need to binge watch soap operas or something. Like after Monday, do you have like a dark time? Okay, I'm gonna detach, unplug myself. Or is it a case of Tuesday morning you were watching Jets video already? How does that work?
Yeah, I think there's a good mix in there somewhere, and typically Monday nights watching the Monday night game, and after that, even sometimes at halftime, I just kind of turn it off and I get away from football, play some video games, hang out with some friends, take my dog and hang out with my dog, and let her go run around in a pond somewhere. So, there's a chance to unwind and kind of get off of things, and these weeks are. As long as they happen so quickly. And sometimes throughout the week, it's like you see a guy wearing number 24 on defense in practice, and you're thinking like, God, who are we playing this week? It just all adds up and it goes so quickly. Sometimes you're thinking about the wrong guy, and it's just like, oh, I gotta lock in here. So, but like you said, yes, the emotions of the game, they run so highly that it all feels like it's just been one long week. And I can't believe it's already the last week of the regular season. It's flown by.
Great, thanks.
Hey, Josh, how you doing today?
Good. How you doing, Matt?
I'm well, thank you. Hey, I know you were just mentioning that the signs have went from playoff caliber to championship caliber. And we talked to you so many times throughout the season. I understand that there's ups and downs and there's everything that goes with it. But I've heard so many players and so many analysts say over the years that sometimes the Super Bowl team is the team that gets the hottest at the right time. And we saw that last year with the Bucs. So you guys are coming off 3 straight wins. I know it wasn't the best day for the offense, but do you feel like as a team, you guys are kind of hitting your stride at, quote, the right time?
It's good to think of it that way, but it's also good to think, we've got to improve on some things before we get in there. And we got one more game left. But again, I think the guys that we got, we're fairly healthy right now. With what our offensive line has done the last couple of weeks, it's been awesome to see that and to see them grow and the communication there continue to evolve, and see how well some of these guys are playing. So that's been very promising. Obviously, you've been able to see Motor kind of step into a bigger role for our offense, and he's been excelling. Guys on the outside are getting open and catching balls and making plays, and that's really all you can ask for. We've got a bunch of guys that care for each other. They work extremely hard in practice, and on game day they want to go compete and make plays. And I wouldn't trade any of our guys for the world, because again, with what we got in this locker room right now, it feels good.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Hey, Josh, when we were talking to Sean a little earlier, we were talking kind of about the balance of, now that there's that standard of you guys making the playoffs consistently, so much under him, but also there's kind of that flip side. You don't want guys who haven't made it to take it for granted, and how you have to still kind of fuel that fire. But so Sean was describing it to us as kind of being like a parent of like, you tell your kids this, but they have to go through it. I was wondering if you could kind of describe what it's like seeing Sean try to manage that, having those expectations, but not taking them for granted.
Yeah, I think one, being the head coach in the NFL, it's a fairly tough job to have, because at the end of the day, we're all grown men, and we should all have the own desire to go out there and compete and play well and all that. And, it's like, what do you say to a bunch of grown men that have been playing football their entire lives, and how do I get these guys motivated? And, he's been awesome in meetings. He's never lost his cool. He's just been upfront and honest about everything going on. And he's kind of given us the keys as captains to kind of be like, this is your team. I'm here for guidance, but I'm not going to, push anybody in one certain direction or not. So I think just the maturation and growth of him as a coach too in the last couple of years has been awesome to see.
You mentioned captains kind of having a role there, and obviously you're always going to have a leadership role on this team. Are you talking to some of the younger guys who haven't seen the team not make the playoff to be like, hey, this is why this is such a big deal?
Oh, no, not yet. I don't want to say that it's expected to make the playoffs, but the standard that we hold ourselves to, it kind of is. So that's the expectations that we have going forward, and really every year it's our goal to make the playoffs and give ourselves a chance to win the Super Bowl. So I don't really think there's anything that needs to be said to some of the younger guys.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Josh, this is going to feel a little off topic, but I was curious. I know you've talked a lot about the handshakes and all that sort of thing, but I was curious. I know you've been doing them since you've pretty much been in Buffalo. Where did it come from originally? Did you do handshakes with your teammates in college? Where did the idea kind of come from?
Yeah, I had a few handshakes in college, but I think when I really got here, it was Shady, Sean McCoy. He was kind of the one that forced me to make a handshake with him, and ever since then it's just kind of taken off. But again, it just gives you that little connection with every guy on the team that you have a handshake with, and just to let them know that you care for them, you appreciate them, and vice versa. So it's just a little tiny tidbit of something you can do to help relationships on the team.
Did other guys get like jealous or like see you doing one with him and were like, oh, we should make one too? Or was it kind of you being like, oh, this is like a good idea and carrying it forward? Honestly,
it's so candid when we're making them. It's just like we're standing there and it's just like, we should do that. It's like, okay, let's do it. And that's now our handshake. So it's there's not much thought process that goes in behind them. It's just kind of there and done, and from there and forevermore. Do you still remember yours was Shady? Like, do you remember all of them going back, or is it too many to kind of keep track? No, I remember most of them. I remember some in high school that I had with a couple other baseball teammates. So, and then, yeah, I got a few. So you've always been, it's like going back further, like you've always been like a handshake guy. I don't know if that's a thing, but. Yeah, I am.
And then Dawson said that he thought maybe you go home and study them and kind of work on them from home. He wouldn't be surprised if you did that. Is that true, or is he thinking too much on it?
No comment. I'll never share my secrets.
Okay. And do you have a last one on this? Do you have a favorite from over the years? Is there one that you like? That one was great. It was really creative, or does one in particular stand out?
I mean, I think just fanboying for a moment with Frank Gore and having a handshake with him, growing up and watching him play. I think that was really cool to be in that moment and to have a handshake with, a Hall of Fame running back who I looked up to as a kid and cheered for on Sundays.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hey, Josh, good afternoon. I want to ask you about, do you believe in the rookie wall? And did you hit it at any point when you were a rookie?
I'm sure it's fair. I didn't personally, because going back to that season, I did get dinged up a little bit, and I missed a few games kind of right in the middle. So when I got back, it just felt like I was starting up again, and it was the end of the season. So, but again, 17-game season compared to sometimes a 10-game season, it's dang near double. And if you go into the playoffs, that's it is almost double the amount of games that you play in college. So it's a longer season, but some of these young guys will find out in the offseason, like it's a little different, and you got a lot of time to yourself, but you got to stay on top of things and start getting ready for the next 17-game season.
All right. And if I could ask you, what is different that you've seen on film this week of the Jets defense compared to what you saw in mid-November? Anything different there?
I mean, again, this is a group that plays extremely hard. Obviously, they took Tampa down to the last 30 seconds, and they had their opportunities in that game. But it's a hungry defense. Their coach is extremely energetic, and we know that they're going to be pumped up and ready to come play and try to take the division away from us at home. If I was in that position, I'd feel the same way. It's an opportunity for them to come in here and do something special in their eyes and end their season on a good note and get some momentum towards the next season. So they're playing really fast. They're playing very physical, and they're going to play very hungry on Sunday.
Okay. Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, it's Jay with the Buffalo News. You mentioned the growth of the offensive line earlier, and you've had a lot of moving parts there, but the one constant really all season has been Mitch. I'm just curious as to what you've seen from his communication with the guys up front, getting everyone on the same page, his communication with you, because obviously you two guys need to be on the same page, and just his overall leadership that he's shown. What stood out the most to you about him this season?
One, is that a Red Sox beanie you're wearing? Boston?
It is. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm a Red Sox fan.
We'll let it pass. Two, Mitch has been awesome. He's been fantastic. Just the consistency that he's had at that center position. He's obviously been here for the last couple of years, and just the relationship that I have with him, I just have a lot of trust, a lot of faith in him. We communicate extremely well together. It's never been pointing fingers on the sideline and whose fault something happened. It's just always been like, let's fix it. Let's be better. And that's why I love him so much. I mean, again, the things that we just talked about off the field too are just not even football related. And to have a guy like that who is more than a football player, and he's one of the glue guys in the locker room too. Everybody can come to him and talk to him, and he's been awesome for this team.
His athleticism, does he maybe not get quite as much credit for what he's able to do athletically in terms of some of your plays? And does that kind of jump off the tape to you at times?
He absolutely does not get the recognition he deserves for his athleticism. He can run, he can move with the best of them. Sometimes he's outrunning, me and the running backs in some of our pin and pull schemes. And again, just consistent, doesn't complain, just does his job. And that's why we love him.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Josh.
Afternoon, Josh. How you doing?
Good to see you, Dante.
Good. Last year, you guys clinched the division on the road, but with the opportunity to win the division this Sunday, what does it mean to you to be able to do that in front of Bills Mafia?
It means a lot. And I think, again, I think Coach told us this morning that it hasn't been done at home in, I think, around 30 years. So for us to give that to the fans, especially after last year with COVID and them not being able to be there, I think it'd mean a lot for them. But at the same time, we're just we're just trying to go win a game and go 1-0. And we understand that the Jets are going to come in here and they're gonna be extremely hungry and they're going to be ready to play on Sunday. So we know that, they know that, and we got to be ready to come out and give everything we got.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.